back to the Indian tzitzit again in the Drushot. So we're on Drushot Vav. We got the Drush Vav. And so let's work our way through this. V'ksas dikdukim sheyesh b'tzitzis minhagim morizal. So he said, "Va'ata nevoyer k'tzas dikdukim sheyesh b'inyan tzitzis." Let me talk about some different points. V'gam minhagim morizal, also how Morizal handled the tzitzis. In a tal krichos yesh b'tzitzis. Now we went through this before. There are 39 krichos, and I still haven't gotten that towel, so I might be able to see this, how this works. Hey, b'bechinas tal osias sheyesh be'ekia deheya b'pasha u'milu and milu and milu. So if we do that, we come out with 39 letters. V'shaso the tzitzis who be'ekia deheya, because the secrets of tzitzis. It's apparently an important idea exactly how to put it together, but it's found in the lower ekia, which is the ekia of hand. Well, this is the malchusdika part of the ekia. And we talked about it in detail up above. Let's see the matak v'devash and see how we can, not the matak v'devash, this is the tip. So this is the lashon of the Shem and Salson. He says, Pirish, the daktek b'seder asiyasam, the bishasam. So let's get more specific about how they're made, how they're put on, shalol l'shanosim, so that we shouldn't change from this the way we're doing it. Zevagam the vayra minhagi of rabbi in the tzitzis. Let's go over that too. He says, but tzitzis oisim barosh hagedil lamed tes krichos. So in the strand, I guess when we say that, that's what we call the thing at the top. We make this thing called a gedil, which has 39 krichos in it. Now he's just going to go over that idea. He says, Hatal krichos, so these 39 krichos we're talking about, she'osim b'tzitzis, that we're making in tzitzis, Ramzim al shem ekir depasha umale male demole. So this concept of 39 has to do with the spread outwards of this ekir, the pasha, and then the male of it, and then the male the mole. So then he says, and he shows us real briefly here at the top, the ekya, and he shows us what it looks like. This is the pasha, the male, and the male, the mole. So in order to get, in order to get to this number, you have to add the kola. Oh, the mole, or you could do something else. You take the vav that's in there, which is a vav, you make it into shalosha osias vav aleph vav, or vav yud vav. You could do that. Sheyafta rabbein olim tal osias, and together, then that way you get tal osias shagnegdam hem tal krichos, and then we have these 39 different spaces that we're talking about. So I thought krichos I thought meant wrappings. So he says, so kaven shagabonis tzitzis he be'ekia demiluhe, and so since that's tzitzis has to do with that. Now, I'm just trying to think that Ekia represents, right, it really represents the orpanimi of Ima, I think. So the Ekia, so who we're talking about, we said that tzitzis, trying to just sort this out, that tzitzis is, refers to continence. The makif of continence is the makif of continence, and ultimately is supposed to go over to the nook. That's why I thought from way back when. So he says, Shekevim Shekon tzitzis he be'ekia demiluhe hayin. So which is that? That's the delivery system, let's say. So that also is a symbol of the fact that you're calling this a kanaf. Together with you get to the number 151, kana. Now he wants to talk about how, in fact, do we make the tzitzis minhag a rizal. So let's see what's going on over here. So he says, maybe I missed some. I want to read a little bit more of the yeah. He said v'lechein. So I guess I missed this a little bit. He says v'lechein nivar inyan nesiyas tzitzis b'minhag of a rizal, a minhag of rav la'aso shlish echad gedil. So he makes one section of the, I guess, of the strands of the different strings into the wrapping area, b'shnei shlishim anav, and then the rest of the 2/3 of it would be like a wing to it. So he said, shlish echad gedil. So the gedil is the wrapping area, the top part of the tzitzit. And then he says you have to make shnei shlishim anav. Then the next 2/3 should be, he's calling it anav. That's the part that's not. Okay, so he says, Kasheoshin the tzitzis, we're on the top of the first right column on Reish Samachas. Kasheoshin the tzitzis, yesh lehizacha la'aso shlish rishon gedil. Should make the first part a gedil. Now I'm confused. Did I read the top part? Yeah, so let's go back up to the top on page Reish Samachas. I'm sorry. So he says on number test, he says, Baratamhu, the reason why you have to do 1/3 and then 2/3, the fisha kevin shat tzitzis tzorach l'neked l'tzorach l'neked. So you really the tzitzis are to bring this makif to the nook. V'hinach l'makomo hu b'chazad the zer anpin. So where is she located? At the chazad the zer anpin shul b'sav shlish ha'elin to the perishable. Ukunegdo ya'asech shlish echad gedil. So therefore, corresponding to that part that is from the I guess from the top down to the chest, that part is where the gedil is going to be. So then when you go below the chazet and you go down to the level which they consider the rest of the body, that's where you find the nook. That's where you're going to make the 2/3, which are going to be the branches or the loose string. That's the way I see it. So let's see what he says here. Number ches. Number ches really starts up at the top of the next page. Sorry. So he says, so you have to be careful. Make the first part this gedil part. This is the part where the strands get intermixed. This is the place of the wrapping and the place of the knots. So these 2/3, which are the 3 actual strings themselves of the tzitzis, they extend out from this wrapping part, which is the gedil. So what's the reason? Why you do it like that? So he says, Shahara the nook, because the strings actually extend over to the head of the nook, as we've learned, where is the place of the nook? The zer anpin and nikras Rachel, who's called Rachel, who ma'achrei achazet the zer anpin. The Pharisee said that the Pharisee are anpin b'schalav l'shlosha shlishim. So let's look at it like this. We always know that the Pharisee of zer anpin is divided into 3 parts. Shem shlisha elyon sheri maschilas at the Pharisee, but the chilas at the Pharisee. So the upper part, v'ad chazer shabbat, v'shlisha emsoi hu min chazer v'chadatiba shalom. So there's the 3 parts. And we have this phrase we use all the time. So from my own body, I can see how the flow of godliness comes. Now, where is the nook? She's around the back of the zer anpin at his chest height. So that she actually has covers 2/3 of the teferis is their anpin. So that's where she's located. She goes from the chest down. Az yeshna so shlish rishon gedil. So the reason why we think like this, or that we divide it, is because of the differentiation between the upper third and the lower 2/3. Shehu rem is the shlish elyon, the tiferes the zer anpin, because the part where is the gedil, which is the wrapping section, that really refers to the upper shlish of zer anpin, shehu adachaz shabo. Shehem mechachazer v'chatzov tiferes, and I guess he wants to talk about where the nook is located. She's located in the back from the tifer from the chazer downward. Asher b'sham mechachazer of the mata, because in that place, ma'akri zer anpin hu mekom shalom. So we want to start the strings themselves going into the area, because that's where we really want to deliver the shefa that's within the string. So since she takes the tzitzit, which are the chutim, so therefore, so therefore she's going to be the 2/3 that corresponds to that physical reality of her position. Is to tell you that the shefa that she's going to get okay. So is that she actually takes this is to let you know that there are two sections. The place that she takes from is going to be the place of the strings. The strings will reach her. So that's it. Now let's go. We're going up on the top of the top here. This is a piece that we saw before. He says, and I want to look at this number base that we said. I made a note to myself. He says, "Va'amna magadil ya'asu julius julius." So the gadil itself is made into different kinds of wrappings, called julia mishlosha krichos. So every julio. So I guess now, correct me, really means like a section, something like that. Called Julia, but Julia has three krichos in it. So he says, so that's going to be, he's going to show us how each one has 13 in it, and we can go like that, something like that. So the first thing you do is you tie two knots so close to the corner. And then you're going to wrap it 7 times. Then you're going to try to do this double tying again. Then you do 8. Then at that you do another double. And then you're going to do 11 times. Then you're going to do 2 different ones. Again, your gimel krichos, and you're going to do this time 13 wrappings. So then it's where do we get to that? He says you're going to tie then 2 more knots. So that you see what you have right here is 39 wrappings. Communion tal osias akia deheyan kandinska the ale kamis barchabai chok. So he says that you understand this now, because this is going to come out to be 39, and it comes out to be like the gematria of the Akia, the Hayan that we mentioned before, which comes out to be Kamizbar, excuse me, Havai Echad, which is also number 39. Let's come over and see this a little bit more complicated here, and we're going to go to number Yud test, and then we'll do number Bet. I just want to see how that goes. He says, B'shas asiyas atzitzis, the asach akrichos, betzuras chulios. So you should have to make the wrapping in a concept of chulios. Now, I don't know what what the word chulios means. You know how to say what it means. Actually, don't know, but it means to say there's a space. Betzuras chulios. So this means some kind of space. Now, number bet says like this down at the bottom. He said the shefer ya'asa chulios kol chulios b'shlosha krichos. So he said, "Gobi kasav sham the Rebbe Yishmuel Vital, the Rebbe Shmuel writes over there in the Gobi." He says, "She'avid marchu lo nov la'asos chulios b'tzitzios." He didn't do this spatial concept with the tzitzit. But tzarich iyun et tzarich linhog b'zeh. So therefore, you have to look into this and see exactly how you should do this. Okay, that's just a little note on the side. Let's go back up to the tiv, a number kaf. It says in this way that every time you do 3 krichos, 3 wrappings, yasa avurim chulia achos, and you make some kind of a space there. So it comes out like this. Then in all, you're going to have 39 different wrappings for Yud Gimel Chulios, and there's going to be spaces. They're going to be each strand of the tzitzit is going to have 39 wrappings. If you add up 7, 8, 11, and 13, and then you're going to see that there are going to be 13 spaces in between. Look at Moshe Kasav Rab La'el, like the Rab said up above. Ba'ata and the Bar Rab say that we'll see us at Krichos Shel Chatzitz. Now I can say how it goes. So a little bit, it's a little repetitive maybe. So let's see what it says if I can still follow it. He said, he said into the openings of the talis, some of the nekavim shebekanaf the talis. Okay, back number kaf bet. So he said, so after you did that, yichro sheva krichos, then you wrapped 7 times. Al shnecha ksharim, as edacha krichos yaasa imechulios, and then you have to make them also with these spaces. V'achar sheva krichos, yishach alechem od shnei ksharim, then after that you do it again. V'al shnei ksharim ashnin, yichro shmona krichos, nosafas, you're going to do another 8. V'gam as Eidach HaKrichos Ya'asa Im Chulius, and then you have to make spaces in there as well. Then you do another tie twice. So he said, V'gam as Elu HaKrichos Ya'asa Im Chulius canal, so you have to make spaces over there as well. So he said, and then he says, and then you do another 13 krichos. So all of them, you're going to reach Alechem Shnei Kisharim Musafim. Is a Rabukulim Yachta Mitztarfim Mispartal Krichos Shehem 1. Sheva Krichos, Shmona Krichos, Yud Aleph Krichos, Yud Gimel Krichos. Now let's see, we have a little bit more to do. He says She'elach Avdital Krichos, and now these 39. Hem Keneged Shem Ekid Milui Hayan. This really corresponds to the name Ekid Milui Hayan. Shebepasha, the Mamala, the Mala, Yesh Tal Osio, so it corresponds to that. And the last one, he said, V'chatal Krichos, Ein Gamba Gematria Chavaya Echad, they also come to the Gematria of 26 and 13. Shukamis Bertal. Now, all of this is really a lot to think about when you're thinking about that this is light, and that the light has to be apparently that is transferred here has to be in the concept of the number Konek. 151 or the number Knaf plus a kola. So here's a little side idea. He said, "V'inyin kashivas chuti chut v'chut kol chut v'chut b'selfo." So at the end of the string itself, each string you could tie a little knot. V'inyin kashivas roshi kol chut v'chut shalatzitz. So you're going to tie a little knot at the end. So that the intertwining of the multiple strings inside one string should not come undone. So he saw people, Morizal saw people doing that, but he wasn't moicha. Even though there are people that are moicha. So he's other rabbi nearly, but I'll tell you the truth. It's appeared to me, he thought that was a good idea. So let's see if we can expand on that in the typical bonos. So the Tiv says, try and move this around a little bit. The Tiv says on number Lama Gimel, he said, where the tzitzis come to an end, because they come undone. They start splitting because of just the wear and tear. Because you wash them, say for example. So therefore, could keep them from unraveling. So therefore, there are those who tie a knot at the end. So watch, he saw this Shalom Malcha Hikpid al Misha Hoya Kosher has Rosh Ahutin Kadesha Lo Yispardo Bishazirasa. Vagam Sheyesh Amapapa came, but there, of course, we know that there are people who argue on this, the minhag that. So that don't touch them. But he didn't accept that. That the opposite is true. He really liked the idea. And we talked about the mixing that previously, but I forgot it shot over there. Okay, so now we move to number Lamed Ches. So it's a minhag of Rab La'asod b'talis cotton. So it's the minhag for the Rab to make in the talis cotton. I lost him again. Okay, so I don't know where I lost you exactly, but he says minhag of Rab La'asod b'talis cotton shnei nikavim smoking ka'ayin seri. So it's like two dots at the ends, two holes. Dam Reisi, the Morizal, I also saw that the Rav, he used to do b'shabbatzitzis cotton koya osishnei nikavim smoking zadazek. He would make actually not one hole, but he'd make two holes for the making of the tzitzit. Ka'ayin the kudit seri, like a seri, two dots, one next to another. B'kol kanaf, but he did that in all the konfos of the of the tzitzit. So he would take the tzitzis and he would push it through apparently the two holes, and then he would do the tiring process, but he'd go through two holes. So I'm not really sure what this means. Maybe we'll find out. So she used kitzvah, the two ends of the tzitzis, mizgalim b'tzad echad achitzon will be, but you'll be able to see both of them. Of svara zuch habir b'seif agor. So this svara is from a sefer called the agor. Aval mori zara below b'hoya oisikain el the b'tzitzis cotton below the gedil b'gadol. But only he made it on the small b'tzitzis cotton. Now, okay, so there's a few things I didn't really understand over here. Let's go over and look at number Lama Ches. It's in the bottom, it's towards the bottom of the left column on the previous page, and he says, "Look, oh, Tosef the Marachul should roll minhag rab be'idyan on the kavim should be kanat tzitzit atalis rather. I'm sorry. Shabatalis kat asach of rab shnei kavim shneichen smukim zelazach. He made two holes. For your own beam shnei kavim zeh besad zeh. B'yosher, so they were in a straight line. Ka'ayin the kudus hatzeri, just like it's the letter the nikud called seri. Shehem shnei nekudas shavos for smoking b'yosher zeh besad. They're really right next to each other and equal. V'es edach of shnei nekavim ketzuras hatzeri also be called kanaf min arba kanfo shalatalos. Over v'es asiyas hatzitzis. Now we came around, they made the tzitzis. So apparently he put the thread you're actually dealing with four threads going from one side to the other side, to this very close together. Ba'ofen sheyotzer melefonim, so that they come out on the front side. Arba chutim mitzad nekev echad, so that you have one foot. Four of the chutim come out of one hole. And then the other, they come out of the next one too. I don't really understand that. I can't picture it in my mind. If you can, maybe you could tell me. So he says, "Ovatalis, huh? Chabad does this."
Yeah.
So get a hold of a Chabadnik, and I'll be able to see exactly how they do this, what it looks like. My question was on the Nekev Echad. So what was he said? Open Shayotim Melofonim. They come out from the face of the front side of the talus. Arba Chutim B'tzad Nekev Echad. Arba Chutim B'tzad Nekev Sheni. So I guess he means that what? They come out of one. I don't know, and then they come out of the other one, and then they go in, and then they go out of the other one. Okay. Okay, so they really follow it. That's interesting. They follow the Chabadnik. I'm calling the Chabadniki now. It's a little more Russian sounding. So you said that both of these sides of the tzitzis are both revealed on one side. Because if you only do one hole, Oz arba chutim omdim b'tzad ponim, so then you're going to have four on the front side, shalabeget. V'arba chutim heim yotze b'tzad achitzam shalabeget. Now, once again, I'm not sure that I follow the view of this, so I would have to get a hold of a Chabadnik and find out. And he says, "V'beget matze b'neihem." So somehow he manages to bring this string so that part of it is not going around the back. I think that's what he means to say, that both of them, if you have two, then all of it is coming out the front. When you do this, four comes out of one side, and then the other four come out of the other side. The ponim, they're all on the front side. Okay, a little bit more. What's the agor? Heavy shita zochusha osim shnei nekavim b'knaf talis, hey betalis kadma, hey betalis godel. So the agor says they do it like that. Aval the Rav zechavinag shita agor la'aso shnei nekavim. So he does do like the agor, which we make two nekavim. Ak v'rav betalis kadma, but he only did it on the talis kadma. We're not given a reason for this thought. He said, "Betalis agodol lo nohag came." That's the sheer. Thanks for learning with me, Rabbi. Have a great day.